welcome to the La Paseo de Deportes in southern Spain, where it's UCAM, one of the final four last year, take on the French champions Le Mans in an eagerly anticipated game in Group A, which promises to be very entertaining indeed. 5 of the 8 teams having made the knockout stage in previous tournaments. So with the likes of Nizhny Novgorod and Polish champions Anwil here for the first time, this could be very entertaining indeed. Nizhny Novgorod losing out to Avellino last night. But look at that win for Anwil at Latvian team Ventspils, 99.78. Banvet continuing their good form against last year's 4th place team, MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. A good win in Turkey there. Well, what about UCAM? They had their moments to worry about in qualification, getting through to this stage, given a right good game by Charleroi. In fact, they lost the home leg in that two-legged third qualification round game. But here they are, one of 2 Final Four teams, along with Ludwigsburg, in Group A this time around. And these home fans know that after a tricky start in the ACB, that tonight could be a chance for their season to properly get underway against opposition that, even though they're the champions of France, may be slightly unknown quantities in this competition this season. Their first Basketball Champions League campaign, Le Mans, since 2016-17. We shall see what happens when they get underway in around about 5 minutes' time or so. They're the Le Mans team. Not too many survivors from that roster that made it through to the round of 16, but they do have talent and they do have significant presence inside, as we shall see. Their famous orange and grey colours could well be an intriguing introduction to this competition that now goes from strength to strength. As we await the introductions of the 2 teams, AEK Athens, the defending champions in the Basketball Champions League this year. But let's see the 2 teams being announced to this crowd, who get rather lively. If you're an opposition head coach, then you can expect a word or 2 back from the seats behind you. Murcia with plenty of international talents and the best of homegrown Spanish skills on show too. Amongst the recruits, Damian Rude, the Croatian international who left Monaco in the summer. The one feature, of course, Brad Olesen, once of Barcelona. He still in the UCAM lineup. But let's take a look at the Le Mans team being introduced to this Spanish crowd. They're champions of France, having overcome Monaco in a terrific battle over 5 at the end of last season. Brahim Duhu, the last man out of the blocks from team, alongside Cameron Clark, of course, one of the most prominent players on this roster, but perhaps given his injury problems last year when he was at Gaziantep, having missed most of the season, perhaps with something to prove this time around, as the UCAM players, with slightly furrowed brows, at least on Brad Olesen's face there, get ready for their introduction. Oli Soko, the Great Britain international, one of the top players in last season's competition. Lazar Mucic, Edu Duran, come through the Estudiantes system. spot him for the redhead. Look, very good outside shot on him as well, the 27-year-old. Charles Kloof ahead of Olesen. Still going strong since his days at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. And the last one or two, Tumba amongst them. Kevin Tumba, one of Belgium's favourite sons. And look out for this kid, Milton Doyle. Hit a crucial trait towards the end of that game against Charleroi on this very court that got them through a tricky third qualification round tie. One of the European rookies, if not a true rookie, having had 10 games with the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA last season. You should certainly keep an eye out for him over the next hour and a half or so. Very good to see smiles on the faces of the players before we get proceedings underway. And this Group A with so much talent in it, as mentioned, as we take a look at the three officials in charge tonight, Messrs. Mazzoni, Vlanic and Horozov. Nizhny Novgorod and the Polish champions Anwil here for the first time. MHP Riesen, Ludwigsburg and UCAM, of course, making it to third place game last year. And in fact, in the earlier games tonight, as you might have just seen, Anwil getting past, we've already seen results of Sir Banvit beating MHP Riesen, Ludwigsburg. And they were trailing at one stage by 37, so anything can happen, as with Anwil winning at Ventspils 99-78. There is the coach of Le Mans, Eric Buteshki. Done a terrific job in charge there as well. They've got off to a reasonable start in Pro A. 3 wins out of 4 to start the campaign. And those 3 victories coming in their last 3 games as well. Here's his opposite number, the familiar figure of Javier Juarez. Tricky start for UCAM. Defeats to Andorra by 2, and then at home to Valencia at the weekend, and a thumping defeat as well, 68-81. But they've looked solid in the ACB the last 3 seasons since they got back into the top flight back in 2011. 9th in the last 2 seasons, 7th and 9th before their 10th place finish domestically last season. As the players get their last moments of inspiration from the coaching staff. Look out then for Milton Doyle on the UCAM side. Well, let's deal with Le Mans with Wilfred Yageti and Peter Corneli, the only survivors from the campaign that began with 6 wins from 7 in the Basketball Champions League back in 26-17. Certainly look out for their strong inside presence that UCAM will have to deal with. Of course, the familiar figure of 2'3" centre Richard Hendricks, once of Maccabi Tel Aviv. And as for UCAM, not just Doyle, but Damien Rude, fresh from Monaco, the likes of Soko and also Olesen as well. But I'd also mention Romanian international centre Emmanuel Carte, who's come through the system at Real Madrid, but now ploughs his professional furrow here in the Deport. So what is it to be then in terms of starts for these two teams? Both looking for early season form, both looking to make an impact, and you would think that in a group that looks as potentially tight as this one, that road wins will be crucial. So what an opportunity here for Le Mans to show the Basketball Champions League and the rest of Europe what they have to offer. Demetrius Conga, interesting character there on the Le Mans side. Played last year in Australia with Illawarra in the NBL there, made a real impression. There's Hendricks. Kevin Tumba, what presence can he bring inside for UCAM? So UCAM in white with the red trim. And it looks a pretty familiar starting five for them with the likes of Ertuğrul, Orison, Soko, Tumba as mentioned. Hendricks ready for the tip. And let's see what these two teams have to offer. Fascinating prospect. The officials just having an early word with Coach Patekci. And he's not happy already. And it does look as if there's just a change to the published starting five. Fascinating to see. I haven't seen something like this. Valentin Bigote is actually on court now rather than Demetrius Conga. But we are underway in the Dayport. And immediately UCAM have the ball with Ertuğrul making plenty of motion. And the jumper from deep comes from Charlotte Kloof, and he picks up the foul as well. Bigote looks as if he's had that drawn on him. Just a little touch inside, and that's all it needs. Good start for Murcia. Now we're going to see the change, are we? Well, certainly it's lively already on the Le Mans bench. Antoine Ito ready to come on. The starting five for Le Mans, incidentally. Bigote, Clark, Ito, Hendricks, Thompson, or at least it should be. That's the one that was on my list. Michael Thompson for Le Mans. Boy from Chicago. A few years since he left Northwestern and didn't get an awful lot of time to spare there. Works it out to the wing. And a fabulous little jump shot from Cameron Clark to get Le Mans on the ball in this opening minute. UCAM, offensive foul called. Ertuğrul looking all perplexed. Let's watch it again. And already lots of rotation in this opening couple of minutes from Le Mans. Ito then. Good spin from Clark, gave himself some space, back out to Ito outside. Was set up beautifully by the big man from Oklahoma. Soko. Ertuğrul. Checks back outside, gets the screen from the Londoner, and here is Soko once more, but he's got to make it for that jump shot. Still UCAM ball, mind you. Tumba battling away for it with Hendricks. That could be quite a contest. Kloof has the space. Oh, but doesn't connect. Early signs of rustiness from the Spanish outfit. Clark looks like a key man already for Le Mans. Who had such an impressive year last year. Soko driving up this time. Oh, and there was a little bit of contact afterwards. Entirely accidental, thank goodness. Was strong from Soko, wasn't it? He's not a man to cross over Soko, let me tell you that. The leading rebounding forward in the Basketball Champions League last year. Very much a man on the rise at 26 years of age. Thompson here for Le Mans. Over the top from Hendricks. Couldn't find Demetrius Conga. Olesen was there. And it is the veteran who's called for the foul. Hendricks. Oh, great vision. Almost found Conga, waiting just near the end line. A little wild though from the 2 minutes 3 centre from Decatur, Alabama. So many years on the clock now. Time spent in Russia, Israel, Italy, as well as Spain. Olesen here for UCAM, back out to Soko. The spin, oh, good strip from Clark. UCAM ball, 7 seconds on the shot clock. So athletic over Soko. Thought he was in. Cameron Clark strong in defence there. That with Soko. Cliff Farai with the jumper. And Thompson over the top towards Hendricks. Looking for the spin move, but Kloof giving him very close attention. Thompson all the way out to the corner where Conga has it, but there's a travel in there. Well, just unable to get anything going just yet. Very inauspicious start for them, but still very much early days. 7 minutes to play in the first. The pass from Kloof, taken out by Le Mans, over the top, as Clark finished off superbly after great work from Ito. Kloof looking to put right what he got wrong last time. Oh, wonderful fake from Olesen. Didn't that deserve 2 more points? Thompson for Le Mans. Ito. Thompson got clear, but his pass picked up, and it's another turnover though, stolen back by Le Mans. Clark in space and time. And away come UCAM, to some. Olesen well at 35, you might as well not work your way back to the other end of the court. Soko with a spin and the travel according to the official. Now Murcia will have to reset. They lost both their opening games, but it was a patchy performance from them in the Basketball Champions League last year. Got out with a 7-7 record from the group stage and lost their last 3, still made it through. Over the top from Thompson, Cameron Clark. Oh, strong in offense and overly strong according to the official. Want to see that again. Kloof stood his ground. And looked perfectly entitled to do so. Here is Kloof. Charlotte Kloof in his 2nd season in the club. Soko will get it back from Milton Doyle. It's all a little messed up. Not quite the fluent stuff that we're used to seeing from UCAM when they get in gear. They're a terrific team to watch. Here's Clark from way outside, should be just two. But great vision to pick him out. Come on, back up with the point, winner point. As the drums cascade around the arena. Tumba. Foul inside, looks like it's going to be called on Clark, I'd suggest. That might be his last action for a moment or two. Clark with 6 points to his name so far. Well, Conga called for the foul. And he, like Clark, makes his way to the bench. Cornerly back into the game, or into the game for the first time. Oh, Urtasun, strong to the basket. And the layup for two. Terry Tarpey, man with a rich basketball family history, into the game for Le Mans. Ito, simple stuff. Looks simple when it's like that. Hendricks polishing off the double. Soko for UCAM. Doyle over the top and superb alley-oop. Kevin Summer will eat that for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Ito looking for some help. Here's Cornerly and draws the foul in the process from Soko. Tumbled to the ground. Soko a little confused, as you can see, looking for the travel, but what about the alley-oop there? Supplied by Milton Doyle. He is a real talent, and Tumba benefiting from that. Cornerly. Oh, played Thompson into all sorts of trouble there. Doyle amongst the players who are going to benefit from that. 3-point game though. Neither team yet quite in control of this, as Cornerly does well to keep the ball in bounds. Ito, the jumper for two. Not a team to be underestimated, Le Mans, by any stretch of the imagination. As UCAM pick up another through Clough, as he's done so many times in the last couple of seasons. Still got ambitions to play in the NBA, but doing very nicely indeed in the ACB. Oh, what a spin and hook shot that was from Wilfred Ugeti. That's a back over it goes from Doyle, but just can't quite finish the job off. Ken Emmanuel Kate. Thompson to the corner it goes. Oh, well, that's average from Tarpey, but there's a foul called on Rude, it looks like. As Urtasun takes his seat, and on comes the young man, Askia Booker. He's had NBA experience with in the Summer League. Was at Real Betis briefly last year. Oh, it's lost by Valentin Bigotti. Here comes Doyle. So many fancy moves and draws the foul. He is some talent to watch. So athletic as well. Bigotti with the foul. When you look at Milton Doyle, he's a man in form as well. 14 points and 5 rebounds in the defeat to Valencia. Maybe not just one of the best rookies in Europe, as mentioned on the Basketball Champions League website. Maybe one of the best players in Europe, potentially. Be interesting to see how he develops over the next few months. 2 from 2 there. UCAM up by 3. Peter Cornely trying to create the space for Tarpey. Back to Peter Cornely. And Doyle eventually picks up the rebound. Double coverage on him, but that gives him the space. And it's Carte once again who benefits. Beautiful pass, wasn't it, from Doyle? Ito, oh, brilliant stuff. And Cornely will get the foul and the points as well. That's some response from Lamont. Wonderful vision, and nothing an Askia Booking can do about it. Shame. The extra miss, but here comes Doyle, coast to coast. He's just on fire right now. Milton Doyle creating so much, and it's only fit and proper that he gets his chance to score himself. 5-point game. We've got a minute 38 to play in the first.
Don't step out. Control here. When the 5-man go, you start. No man. No man is here. Okay, no direct pass here. Okay, on the same thing when he's Soko here. Only one guy here and 2 guys here. Don't show you too much. This guy can help. This time is a fan. On Soko, he can help, but maybe come back. He take direct pass.
When I right, nothing. Yeah? We can play. Come in. Go. From post the alto, by post. In another side, we can roll all time. Nothing. All situations, we can roll. Okay? This is very bad. Okay? Go. Let's go.
Such a multinational lineup on that UCAM roster. Players from Britain, Bosnia, the Netherlands, Croatia, Romania, Italy, Belgium, the Dominican Republic. But it's the all-American talent of Milton Doyle that stood out so far. And somehow, that man there has to form a plan to stop him. Lamont then in possession. Conga under pressure from his opposite number. Can he get the jumper away? No, he can't, but he will draw the foul this time. Charlon Kloof responsible. That is his second, I believe. In fact, offensive foul, the call. Chance then for UCAM to build on this advantage. Here's Doyle. Rude to his left. Booker to his right. Michael Wall himself down the lane, back out inside. It goes to Booker. What a fake that was. There's Clough waiting for it. Rebound goes Lamont's way. Thompson. Screen from Cornely. And then it's Yagete. To the right hand it goes. Conga failed to make contact with the net once again, and they're battling for it inside with Tarpey and Rude. A right old fight. And it looks like it's Rudej who picks up the foul. Might be immediately hooked as well. Double change. Rudej is one of those who takes a seat. While Tarpey, who's, I'm sure, just pleased to be back out on the court after rupturing knee ligaments back in April. Father, well known around the European leagues as well. Very fine career in his own right. Proud of his son, I'm sure. But confusingly, father called Terry Tarpey Jr., so no prizes for guessing what Terry Tarpey's going to call his sons when they're born eventually. Clough for UCAM, who lead by 3. Rucklin back to him. Clough unable to connect this time. Ito back in the game for Conga's expense. It's Thompson at point. All the way over the top, and putting so much pressure on Michael Thompson at UCAM. Desperate measures required. Well, I hope that Cornley can pick that one up. Mutic. Doyle has the optimistic effort that's not far away to end the quarter. That would have been some finish. 19-16 it is then, in favour of last year's 4th placed team, 3rd placed team, I beg your pardon, leading Ludwig in the 3rd place game. And these are the key moments with Charlotte Clough showing his speed around the court and the execution under pressure as well. Cameron Clark has had his moments too. Novosoko as strong as ever in his battle there against Richard Hendricks. Ito back inside for Clark. And Brad Alderson rounding back the years with more consistent excellence. And there's plenty of time for Le Mans to keep pace, but they've got to work out what's happening at point guard, you would think. Their half-court game not really working at the moment, although when Ito can supply Hendricks in those situations, then it will definitely benefit. And there's Doyle, MVP on that first quarter at least, supplying the alley-oop to Kevin Tumba. Ready to go then for quarter 2. Soko and Booker back in the game for UCAM. There is Thompson. Ito for Le Mans. Back out to Thompson, who finally has some space to work with. And the floater, floated jumper, is very well executed indeed. Booker, Karte, Doyle, Duran and Soko on the call for UCAM. Here is Doyle for 3. Kante with the rebound. And here he is. Oh, well. The overhead pass to Doyle in the end. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Booker slips at just the wrong moment. And that's good strong work from Yageti on the floor. Away come Le Mans. Just a point behind, remember, and now they lead. Peter Cornely. Le Mans with more than a foothold in this game now. Doyle looking for the bounce pass, but off the knee. Well, entirely certain what Yageti was calling for there, but He's not going to be able to convince the officials otherwise. Kate, Soke, it's Doyle. Up against Ito, spin, and the wonderful jumper. He's going to turn a lot of heads this year, Milton Doyle, no question about that. But backside though at 21. Ito going on himself, no, it goes back outside. But Cornely, it rolls out for him. Oh, there was a nasty little catch on Booker from Yagete. Accidental. Not satisfying Askia Booker all that much. Just tried to stick the arm out, but well worth trying for. And Yagete steps out. Another foul for Yagete. That's his second. Soke. Here is Booker, who seems none the worse. Loses it, but off the foot, and it'll be UCAM ball once again. Set up rather nicely, this one at the moment. Neither team with the consistency to be able to draw away from their opponents. Here's Booker once again. Off the rim this time. Good work in defence from Tarpey. Booker, a wonderful step. Doyle claims it back in. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He'll do it all himself. Give him an inch, and he will take a yard. Convert that into centimetres and metres, and you'll know what I mean. Ito for Le Mans. The foul is called by the official behind the end line. Don't know that Kate likes it. And that's a battle against Hendricks. Over the top it goes to Cameron Clark. Again, Hendricks and Kate having a bit of a dust-up off to the left-hand side, and Clark's jumper failing to end it. Here's Doyle for UCAM once again. Almost teasing Cameron Clark. Gets a bit of help from Hendricks. Here's Kate up against Clark. Very interesting talent, Emmanuel Kate, brought up through the Real Madrid system. Full Romanian international these days. Bounce pass from Ito is not going to work out in the end. He'll wake up UCAM. Milton Doyle all on his own. Racking up the points now into double digits. 5 from 8 from the field. Tarpey, all blocked from Kate, but there was a foul in there according to the official. 2 quick fouls for the Romanian, much to the displeasure of the home court. Yep, just caught his hand. And Tarpey will go to the line. I think we call that look not impressed, don't you? Pity for UCAM, because it was a period of the game where they were starting to take a bit of control, stretch the lead out to 7. Important this for Le Mans. Tarpey makes at least 1 from 2 anyway. Back into the game then, Bigotti. Dijon last year after impressing all and sundry with some terrific shooting performances against Limoges in the Pro A playoffs. Here's Dorther for UCAM. Oh, just delayed the shot just by a second or two, but didn't work out for him. So a big couple of possessions coming up here for Le Mans. Just over 6 minutes to play in the half. Bigote for three, and you don't give him space. Two-point game. Booker. That's Duran, I beg your pardon, shaking off Ito's presence. Back with Booker, drives it down the lane. And Hendricks stays tall and strong. Snuffs out the danger. Here's Bigot once more. Off the rim. Oh, that could have been very interesting. Would have put Le Mans back in front. Lots to enjoy out there on court right now. Here's Booker for UCAM. Duran for three. Bigot with the rebound. UCAM just holding their powder dry at the moment. Nearly the same pressure on the point guard as we saw earlier. Clark has to check his progress under pressure from Tumba. But there he is. That's nice. The long-range jumper from Cameron Clark. Wonderful skill. And it brings a timeout for UCAM. We're tied at 27.
Hey, Kevin, when jump, man, I say foot on the floor, man, no jump and down because it's second foul. Okay, in the last shot, go down the hands. You know, good offense, good job in defensive. Hey, Aska, good job. Brad, that's for Milton. Hey, we defense all plays. Okay, good job in offense.
Et c'est une trap juice là, il fait des trap juice qui est collé en fest.
Well, who's your money on right now? Well, UCAM, who've struggled so far in the ACB, still searching for their first win against a confident Le Mans team who know what they're doing. And remember, this Group A, one of the most respected in the whole of the Basketball Champions League for 2018-19. Askia Booker then for UCAM. Tumba has Oko on the free throw line. Ooh. Well, that's called as a defensive foul at Soko's typically physical self. The foul called on Clark. And another foul called on Clark means that he'll make way. Just his second foul, but they are starting to rack up now. Konga, Bigot and Clark both on, all on 2 fouls, I should say. Soko misses both from the line, and Hendricks picks up the rebound. Right, Le Mans with a chance to get back in front. Thompson, under pressure from Booker, finds Bigot, who loses it. And he'll get another go. Off the foot of Tumba, I think. Let's watch it again. Nine seconds on the shot clock. Cornerly. Thompson. Inside to Hendricks, the spin. Oh, and can't get the layup. And away comes Booker for UCAM. Soko, spin. Oh, great pass inside two players. And Tumba says thank you very much. Fabulous vision from the GB International. Cornerly. Here's Big Oak for Lamont. Thompson. Good screen from Hendricks. And he'll get it back inside. Oh, what a great idea that was. But Cornerly couldn't get on the end of that. Real feature of his game, that. But why not get the game moving in as quick as possible a fashion? UCAM up by 2. We're inside the last 4 minutes of the half. Of a game that could go either way at the moment. Le Mans certainly not overawed. Durant. Bounce pass to Tumba, who ducks home. Kevin Tumba strong as ever. Not losing any of his touch. The Goats. Oh, done well to get through that gap, but you've got to make sure you get the points afterwards. Soka with a rebound. Duran all along the end line. Back with Booker, who steps this way and that. Make sure of the tray as well. Timeout Le Mans, and Askia Booker's done more than most to bring it about. 7-point game, and UCAM heading strong towards the half. Look at that step away from Hendricks. He's not had a lot of time on court. Kevin Tumba has. And as for Askia Booker, his first full season in Europe, problems for Le Mans, timeout call.
Okay, go. Go.
Le Mans then with all the questions to answer right now. Crowd into the game. UCAM beginning to deliver as well. But it is a team performance if they can somehow stop Tumba and Doyle. Nobody else with more than 2 points, apart from Charlotte Kloof, of course, with 5. So much to keep you occupied on this. That's nice from Thompson. Gets Corley into the game, and the block from Tumba, although eye-catching, all irrelevant because the foul's already been called. Corley in for Clark, incidentally. Soko it is that picks up the foul, as you can see there. Pretty clear hand in. Six-point game then, with 2 minutes 40 to play. Le Mans, to put it mildly, a little rusty from the strike right now. 4 from 6 I make it. Make that 5 from 7. Beg your pardon, it's 4 from 7. Even worse. If they're going to get charity shots, as ever, the old coaching adage applies. They've got to make it, mind you, Murcia at 60% as well. That's a long-range effort that gets absolutely nothing but fresh air. Not the greatest moments, you would say, in Emmanuel Cate's short career. Beg your pardon, Damien Roudet, of course. Thompson for Le Mans. So much pressure being put on him, but it's creating space for the likes of Cornely. Hendricks going to try and drive it up from the low post against Tumba. No, in the end, it's Tarpey who can't connect. Booker did so well. Olesen for three. Oh, it was never in doubt. Absolutely drained the tray from there. 1 minute 40 left in this half. So vital that Le Mans can hit back here. Here's Demetrius Conga. 5 seconds on the shot clock too. Got to put it up. Cornely will do so. They're just running a little bit dry right now in front of the opposition basket. Tumba from just outside the free throw line, top of the key. No good from him. There's Thompson once more for Le Mans. Gets help from Hendricks. Back inside to the big. Well, there's a foul called on UCAM. And it is on Tumba, who was trying to dislocate Thompson's hip there. Standing that strong as Congo prepares with the inbounds play. Tarpey inside the last minute now. Oh, back out to Tarpey. What about that for the finish too? Oh. Talk about pent-up frustration being released. Terry Tarpey with the highlight reel contender. What about this? Slam! I think his knee's all right now, isn't it? Mutic in for UCAM ahead of Erterson. And here he is. Back out it goes. And Mutic can't make the tray. So, 8-point game. Still the pressure on Le Mans here. Tarpey gets the ball back as well. Has the attempt at the layup, but it's Mutic called for the foul, and he'll surely go to the line. Looking all innocent there is the 19-year-old. Big future ahead of him, though. The 2 minutes and 1, 4 or 5, I guess you could call him. Outwin the FIBA Under-16 European Championship back in 2016. So they clearly rate him highly at UCAM. But Tarpey, the man with 2 from 2, and we're back to within 4 as we see another timeout called towards the back end of the second quarter. Charge from the French champions. UCAM ball though. It should just be one final play. Booker gets it back from Doyle. 5 seconds remaining. Oh, but a little tug inside. The foul called before the active shooting, so the basket won't count. And Le Mans still with a foul to give as well, so 4.1 seconds remaining. That's smart. Ito into the game as well. Conga out as Doyle puts it up, and he fails to make the 3 points, and it means that UCAM will lead by 4 going into the second half. 36-32 at the midway point, and plenty for fans of both teams to take from this contest. Le Mans with sheer stickability right now, making headway through a pretty fine team performance. Clark 8 points, Tarpey 7, 6 from Cornerly. But no prizes for guessing who the star of tonight's show is from the UCAM perspective, and that's Milton Doyle. 10 points, 4 from 9 from the field, and in 3 assists and 3 rebounds as well. He's not having the worst night in his European Basketball Champions League debut. Five points apiece from Olesen and Clough, 4 from Kate. Whilst we've seen all 11 out of the 12 players be rotated onto the court at some stage during the game, no other player on the UCAM side with more than a couple of points. Cameron Clark looking sharp early on for Le Mans. Soko, his usual athletic and gritty self. Olesen, well, he's done this so many times, so many years with FC Barcelona, of course, as well. In his second year at UCAM. Make the most of him while he's here. Such a delight to watch. Cameron Clark with a few more years ahead of him. Hopefully free of injury these days. And there's another veteran, Alex Erterson. Wasn't expected to be here, of course, was training in pre-season with Fuenlabrada when the call came through. And Milton Doyle with the alley-oop. Tumba burying the alley-oop. Quiet first half from Charles Clough. But Yegete, one of the veterans of the last time Le Mans were in the Basketball Champions League, having his moments too. Yegete with just a couple of points and limited game time, only 6 minutes and 6 seconds. But Milton Doyle, talk about control and grace as well under fire. Cornerly from the corner. And there, Doyle. Driving it up the lane. And there really is nothing that the likes of Tarpey and Ito can do when Doyle is on song. Wonderful little hook shot that as well. Making sure his body in the way of the ball and the defending player. Plenty for Le Mans to show for their efforts. What about that for a pass from Soko? So good between two Le Mans players. And then Tumba, well, the basket almost minuscule in comparison. Tarpey with perhaps the play of the night. And that wraps up the first half. Murcia, UCAM Murcia 36, Le Mans 32. Rejoin us in a moment for the second half. Half-time then in the depot, where it's 4 points to the advantage of the home team. UCAM 36, Le Mans 32. And we'll be ready to go in a couple of moments for the second half of what has been a nicely poised, well-contested matchup. And what is a very intriguing Group A all round, with the likes of not just these two teams, but MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg, Nizhny Novgorod, Polish champions Anwil, who've already beaten Ventspils of Latvia 99-78 earlier. I should say Banvit overcoming Ludwigsburg 89-76. And there was one win yesterday as well in this group, and that saw Avellino overcome Nizhny Novgorod in Russia by the 7 points, 100-93. So Avellino, Banvit, Anwil with wins in the opening week of the Basketball Champions League. Will it be UCAM or will it be Le Mans opening their account in exactly the manner that their coaches demand? Javier Jarez of UCAM looking very pumped up there. A certain sang-froid about his opposite number, Eric Bartoszewski. He has that intense focus, doesn't he? The UCAM coach, that you don't really want to ignore if you're one of his players. If you are planning on playing at any point during the season, you certainly wouldn't ignore him. Coach Bartoszewski certainly giving his players no room for doubting what he's trying to argue for. Have to start this second half with some purpose and some poise. We're running out of offensive options at various points. Thompson put under real pressure. No one really able to connect and convince from a shooting perspective on a long-term level. UCAM certainly with the better fast break points, 6 points to 2. But points in the paint is where this game is being won. 28-12 in the favour of the Spanish team, which is a surprise given that, well, we know a lot about UCAM's quality, but Le Mans with plenty of talent inside too. The likes of Hendricks needs more support from Clark. Clark very much roaming all over the court. Remember, of course, that Le Mans have just 10 players on their roster as well, so that may yet have some bearing on the overall result as Ollison gets us underway. Here is Hendricks, looking for a way through at the low post against Tumba. Spins this way now. Tumba with the rejection. You're not getting through there, my friend. Le Mans though with another chance. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Put up by Ito. Oh, what a fadeaway that was. Under pressure of the shot clock. Always the most difficult of circumstances, as Soko can only find the rim. Away come Le Mans. Down by 4 then. Ito already looking hot so far. Hendricks. Oh, well. Conga doing ever so well initially, but away comes Clough. Oh, what a pass! And Soko lays up. But those sorts of mistakes, Le Mans have to cut out. There's Thompson. There's Clough for company, off his foot. We'll try again. And there is Clough. Wonderful, unselfish play to find the pass for Soko. Conga finds Thompson. Clark trying to give him a hand, but he's been double teamed all the time here, Thompson. And that's not the most convincing of plays. Have to work out how they can get him into more space. Get him playing consistently. Tumba here for UCAM. Olesen. Strong drive here from UCAM could really put them in control as Soko is free. Can they get on a run here, UCAM? Well, not with shooting like that. As that's beautifully done from Demetrius Conga all the way along the end line. Back to within 4, and there's a steal as well. Ito now for Le Mans. Kicks it back out. Thompson for 3. Straight into the hands of Cameron Clark. Hendricks fires Thompson up again, and again Thompson doesn't find the success he wants. Thompson now yet to make a 3-point play in this game. Foul call, no, travel on Booker. Thompson did reach in, but the official in a very good position. In spite of Aski Booker's remonstrations. But there was that extra step just before then. Ito. Thompson. Again, double team once again. Space for Clark down the left-hand side. Nothing but net there. And Amon back to within 2. Needing to put Le Mans away early, and they can't get away from the Frenchman right now. Back out to Olesen. You don't give him time like that. Oh, just rolls out. Wonderful movement from UCAM, but not succeeding in the end product. Hendricks for Le Mans. Back inside Demetrius Conga. No problem. And Le Mans are back tied. Clough for UCAM. Crowd noticed a bit quieter than they were at the back end of the first half. Soko. Well, Tumba takes a tumble. And the foul is called, I think, on Hendricks. No way through at the moment for UCAM, thanks to, in part, that man, Richard Hendricks. The first team foul for either team in the first 4 minutes as Ito collides with Milton Doyle. Officials in there quickly to make sure there's no discontent afterwards. Certainly Doyle felt the effect there. And it might have been more for Ito landing on Doyle after the play was completed. Doyle in, Booker out for UCAM. Yageti in for Hendricks on the Le Mans side. Here's Tumba now. Milton Doyle. Over the top, the alley-oop! Front Tumba, they've done that already. They'll keep doing it again if Tumba finds space like that. Oh, what a play. UCAM back in front. Thompson. For Le Mans. Back from Conga. Over the top. Oh, that's wild, but somehow they get away with it. Yugete by Rito and Conga. Thompson once more. Still can't make the tray. Yugete stayed down there. Clark rather stayed down a while there, but finally got back into position. So much to enjoy about this. Soko. Clough gets the screen from Tumba, but the official on the half court calls Thompson. With a foul, there it is. Just a little hand before the screen from Clough, from Tumba, to allow Clough to keep on. 42-40 it remains. Clough. Doyle looking for Tumba once again, but it was well read by Clark. Yugete feeds Conga, great block by Soko, and it's finished off at the second attempt. Back tied at 42. That presence inside from Kevin Tumba felt at both ends there. Doyle kicks it back out to Ollison. Here's Soko from the corner. Brings the crowd to life once more. And UCAM lead once more by 3. Nip and tuck all the way here. Thompson, man under pressure. Yugete, oh, that got lucky off Ito. Doyle's deflection. Thompson, oh, can't find anything. Air ball in the end from the hook shot after the drive down the lane. Here's Clough for UCAM, looking to extend the lead. Good screen from Tumba, and Clough makes no mistake. 6 points, the advantage now. Make that 5. Thompson. Picking out Yugete. He's getting no joy whatsoever against Soko. And away come UCAM. Clough. Oh, foul called on Ito. And they're getting the rub of the green on these 50-50 calls right now as well. Happens in every game, but it's going UCAM's way in there. Well, actually, that's not a 50-50 call, is it? Ito reaching in. He can protest his case as much as he likes, but he isn't going to get a call like that. Antoine Ito. Just come off quite a thigh injury. Came back a couple of games ago in Pro A. A 2-time domestic French title winner. UCAM sounding confident in the stands right now. Artisan for 3. Three minutes and 10 then on the clock. And there's now calmness about Javier Jerez on the UCAM bench. Head coach looking almost serene compared to the intensity with which he started the second half. Cameron Clark for Le Mans. And Doyle comes away with a rebound for UCAM. Taken on Ito. Oh, just lost it at the wrong moment. Yugete eventually picking up the turnover. Now what about another turnover? 5-point difference. Doyle finds Soko on the right-hand side. Terrific rebound from Erterson. The veteran using all of his experience to anticipate that one. Clough, will he Try the alley-oop once more. No, he goes for points himself. UCAM up by 7. It's not quite their biggest lead so far. Not far off, though. Here's Ito Philemon. Oh, you've got to be more efficient than that from just south of the free throw line. Doyle almost did it all himself. Soko battling away and draws the foul. It's the sort of play that will get you back to the line and give you a whole heap of compliments from the fans as well. Doyle trying something spectacular, not for the first time, and then battles away, and listen to the crowd chanting over Soko's name. They love him in southern Spain, just as they do back in his native London. As Charles Clough just getting a word from the coach on the sideline there. Lamont now with 14 fouls as well. Danger time for them. One from two for the Briton. Clark on 3 fouls now as well. Bigot and Conga on 2. 8 points drift, Lamont. Need to get something sparked in these remaining minute and 25 seconds. Ito receives the ball, but there's an offensive foul called. And it's kind of Cornerly, who's now discussing things with his teammates as well, not in the most harmonious of fashions either. And he just come in for Cameron Clark as well. Cornerly has 2 fouls now to join Conga and Bigot. Clough. Artisan. Doyle. Oh, where did he find that space, Milton Doyle? What a talent. 12 points to his name now. And look at that, UCAM's biggest lead of the night. Lamont in team foul trouble too. Demetrius Conga unable to drain the 3. Doyle, oh, the bounce pass, not finding Kate. But UCAM Murcia's fans, as you can see, the men in red t-shirts, there they are. Full of emotion, full of passion for their team. Antoine Ito showing nothing but frustration right now. Could be a pivotal third quarter, this. As Doyle's jumper goes awry once more. Thompson now for Lamont. And Yageti as an option. In the end, got it back from Conga. And again, Thompson just not finding any sort of range whatsoever. He's got 2 points so far, but he's now 1 from 7. It's almost like a foul between Rudej and Urtasun on each other there. Very physical indeed under the basket. Well, 60. Let's watch that again. As of course, Cornerly is drawn for another foul, so that means Rudej can go all the way for more charity points. Cornerly's 3rd foul, remember. And this third quarter might not seem that decisive with a 17-10 margin in the favour of UCAM, but it has been pivotal in what had been hitherto a very tight contest indeed. Great pass from Yagete, and Tarpe will make mincemeat out of that. Something perhaps to gladden the hearts of the Le Mans fans, but Rudej draws another foul from Better Connolly, and he's now on 4. Well, there is the call. And the UCAM coach having a word. They want to see Cornely out of the game. They're not going to get it. Kate, in fact, drawn for the foul. Drawing the foul from Cornely, I beg your pardon. Kate to the line. "15 team fouls at the moment compared to UCAM's 11 for Le Mans. Kate makes both. Thompson will do well from that. At least he finds the rim, but that's just been the story, shooting story for him all night. And UCAM take a decisive grip on this game. Still time, though, for Le Mans to come back, but it will take some work now. As UCAM heading towards their first win of the season, both domestically and in Europe as well, with plays like that. Clough, simple vision to find Soko. Nice from Demetrius Conga with the putback pass, putback basket. Cameron Clark a little quieter in this second half. But no one really breaking out. Clark with 10 points now. Couple of rebounds. Tarpey with 9. Then look at the rest of the Le Mans team. 6 each from Conga and Cornely. And they are now getting into foul trouble. Cornely with 4. Clark 3. So too Thompson. Sorry, beg your pardon. Cornely 4. Clark 3. 2 each for Bigot and Conga. And they do have a short-handed roster as well, remember, down 2. Lots to ponder then. There's Doyle showing there just how he can pick a hole and drive right the way through it. Last chance saloon for Le Mans then. We've already had good comebacks in the Basketball Champions League, mind you. I've already seen one team come back from 34 down. 34 points down to lead at half-time. Come on, then, looking for a way back into this. Thompson. He's got to have a strong first quarter, you would think, and that's, well, more reminiscent of the first 3. Nageti with the final touch. Booker for UCAM. Rudej going on its own, but that's great defense. Wilfried Nageti once again. He's learned a trick or two since his days with the Florida Gators in the NCAA. As Clark spins and attempts to fade away and draws the foul from Durant. Pretty firm elbow into the stomach there from Eddie Durant. Not that that will matter all that much. Everybody up, safe and sound. And Clark unable to drain the first of the other 2 from the line. One from 2. Booker for UCAM. Tries to do it himself. It's a terrific rebound from Urtasun, mind you. Durant, Booker might get another go here. No, they opt to just check and reset. Back to the corner it goes. Rims out for Rudesh. Tarpey. This time for Lamont again. Lamont getting open looks. Just not able to take advantage. Kate. Foul called, and it's an offensive one. The officials very quick to spot any reaching in. So I'm on with further opportunities. Rudesh with the turnover, by the way. Igete, just not on the same wavelength as Cameron Clark. It's been that sort of night. Doesn't that look tell you everything? But Le Mans have certainly shown they can compete here, and well, when they get UCAM back to France, Western France, later in the year, it could be quite an encounter. As Rudesh can't hold on to the pass. It's with Conga drives it up, but the turnover follows the rebound, and away comes Rudesh. And now there's a calm about the UCAM play that you would expect after a third quarter, and it produces plays like that. Dami Rudesh showing his NBA quality there. Thompson, Conga, Tarpey. Lamont looking for some answers here. Really need to find something. As Terry Tarpey finds the rim, there's a foul inside. Shove in the back. And it means that Lamont at least keep the ball anyway. Kante called, it would seem, for the foul on Igete. No, Urtasun instead. Valentin Bigot back in. At the expense of Terry Tarpey. And here is the Frenchman. Hendricks. Almost guilty of a 3-second violation there. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Once again, Le Mans unable to find the key play. Here's Rudesh once more, and the same result. And look at the reaction. That's what the Basketball Champions League means to these players. Timeout call by Le Mans, and UCAM fully in charge. Booker round the back, Rudesh straight down the middle.
We're gonna make some third, okay? Third or fifth situation, okay? If you got nothing, go on after. Okay, third or fifth situation, okay? Hey, it's long, 6:30 is long, okay? It's long, get your back. Hey, if you got the pocket here, have a look here. Stay in control. If the pass is not open, go on. Okay, this situation, this down, this side, or front, with the 4, with the 5.
We can play. 32 para Rubén. Escribe Cate, pero el bloqueo de Rubén.
¿Recibo yo aquí?
Sí, claro, Juan 32. El bloqueo hacia adentro para Lucas. Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Hey.
You can't beat a Viking clap, can you? Shows how much these UCAM fans have been looking forward to this. 2 defeats then to Andorra and Valencia in the ACB. And it's looking good for an opening win in the Basketball Champions League as well. Up by 16. Thompson, though, for Le Mans. Finds Hendricks with Clark. Nice play, puts Picotes in for the easy layup. A little more of that required by the champions of France, as Ito's called for a rather obvious foul there. Booker now for UCAM. Spaniards in complete ascendancy at the moment. Kante, their remaining international big. There's Urtasun for 3. Clark picks up the rebound. Thompson from way back. He's not had the greatest of nights, but that's a highlight reel contender on its own. Booker for UCAM. Le Mans back to 11. To the corner it goes, where there's a foot on the line. And Eddie Durant will have to make his way back to the bench. Let's look at that. There it is, left foot. On the line is out, of course. Good spot by the cameraman. There's Thompson. Sit back. Clark. It goes. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Cameron Clark up against Ollison and works his way through between Ollison and the end line. Well, it was a 16 deficit. Back to within 9 now. Wouldn't say UCAM are worried, but if Cameron Clark produces more plays like that, bounces off the chest of the veteran, makes his way to the basket. Time out, Murcia.
Our job. We need defense in all places. Okay? You know we ain't.
Hey, do what we've been doing the whole game. Don't try to push it on me. Stop blocking.
Hey. No, no, blood.
With Thompson, no.
Blood. Listen. Hey, in offense. Hey, we need. That's the pain. For receive balls. Okay, be aggressive. Stop and extra pass.
Keep getting stops, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, one thing Coach Suarez may well also mention is holding on to the ball for UCAM. Le Mans now ahead on points from turnovers, 14-9. Still have their strong presence in the paint, mind you, 36-24 to UCAM. But can Le Mans force the odd turnover more? Just over 5 minutes left as Booker takes contact and flies to the ground. Let's watch that again. Meets Hendricks. And we'll get another chance from the line. Eski Booker. Spent his college career in Colorado. 25 years of age now. His first full season in Europe after time in the NBA Summer League. 3 months with Betis from February onwards. They, of course, were relegated. And we'll see nice plays like that from Manuel Karte. And they'll get another go as well, will UCAM. When those sorts of plays go well, you know it's your night. Booker. Looks for Karte, finds him, layup, and you know the rest. Le Mans getting increasingly desperate now. We're inside the last 5. And I think Booker's called for the reach in there. A little bit of translation going on as well, I suspect, with Michael Thompson, which is good to see. Thompson once more. Big Oaks inside to Clark. And Cameron Clark under all sorts of pressure. UCAM up by 12. Doyle. Rudesh. Kate. Back with Booker. Olesen all alone in the corner. Kate gets it back to Doyle. Here is Olesen. Rebound Hendricks. Big Oats. Lamont opting not for the fast break there. Thompson for three. He has not had a happy night. Michael Thompson now 2 from 11. Booker finds Doyle. Doyle, oh well. Got in two minds between Olesen and Rudesh. Ito for Lamont. Big out. What's the call? It's defensive foul called on Olesen. And UCAM, well, they only find the ointment. As they're now on 5 team fouls, so chance for Lobon to be aggressive offensively as Soko comes in for Rudesh. 3:33 remaining on the clock. Timbergut cannot afford to miss out on any points available. The need a 96 shooting guard, averaging 21 points in the playoffs against Limoges last year when he was at Dijon. UCAM up by 11. There's Doyle. Booker free down the left-hand side. Soko. Nudge in the back and a little bit afterwards as well from Richard Hendricks, who's complaining about an elbow. Crowd quick to get involved. And so too the officials. Let's look at it again. Well, he didn't like it. I don't know that there was anything there. Didn't appear to be a look back from Emmanuel Kate. And perhaps a little bit of frustration on Richard Hendricks' part. Here is Doyle. Oh, what a play! He has been the standout. And it's plays like that that show why. There you go, to Hendricks. Back with the Frenchman. Hendricks back inside to him, bounce pass. Oh, but it just won't drop. Booker being urged on by his coach to make haste. Soko now for UCAM. Booker steps inside and from round the back fails to drain the layup. Ito, Clark, Ito. What a spin that was from Clark, but has just been caught by Booker. Yeah, say caught. He nearly had his shoulders separated against his will. Clark failing to ensure. That's been another feature of tonight. Very poor free throw shooting. 61% at the moment for UCAM, but Lamont, before that miss, they were only on 57%. But plenty to be positive about from a Lamont point of view. Getting back involved in European level. It was something of a surprise when they took the French title last year off Monaco, as Bigot with the steal. Oh, and 2 bites of the cherry. Can't eat the fruit. Clark with the follow-up. Soko on his own. He'll bury that, and maybe that'll bury Le Mans. Thompson looking for options, but again, Askiabuka calling for another quick foul. That should be his third. It'll be Thompson to go for the other line. Le Mans with 2 away games to start off their Group A campaign. They're in Turkey next week in a Tuesday night fixture at Banvit. Soko and Kate responsible for clearing that one up. UCAM, well, they have another home game, and they'll fancy their chances against Latvia's Ventspils. Again, another Tuesday night game as we start to get into gear in the Basketball Champions League for another season. Doyle, really very loose indeed, but Kate has benefited and draws the ad 1-2. Bigot frustrated as anything that he couldn't cut off the big in his prime. And timeout called, but it's not looking good for Le Mans now inside the last couple of moments.
Defense, okay? You do the play like he does too. Okay? Senza extérieur, c'est d'or, fort Valentin. Ok? Après, on défend. Faut qu'on revienne dans tous les 10 sur le goal average. Ok? Pas sur le goal average. Ok? On se donne et on défend derrière. Allez, go! 1, 2, 3.
Second round, okay? So now we saw one. Time out. You know, he's down.
So UCAM in control with 1 minute 29 seconds remaining, but far from convincing in parts. Le Mans very much in this as Kate misses out on the extra point. And remember, these points might just matter in what is a very tight Group A with the likes of Nizhny Novgorod and Ludwigsburg, Banvit 2, Avellino as well. Here's Clark from long range. Ito eventually with the rebound. Clark. Duran with a hand in there, but how about that for the fadeaway? Cameron Clark showing once again his qualities. Kate is done for the night, you would think. 10 points, 7 rebounds. Pretty good night for the Romanian big. Kevin Tumba back out. He and Kate have pretty much run the paint. 8 points, 5 rebounds for Tumba, incidentally. And they've almost played exactly 20 minutes each. Good rotation, you would think, as Booker tries to float in, and Al Tumba didn't find 2 points there, I'm not entirely sure. Ito all the way through as Tumba just with a nudge in the right moments at the right time. Denies him the 2 points. More changes made now. Askiabuka Steps out Emilio Martinez, the 20-year-old. He's come through the system in Murcia. Steps in and gets a guiding word from Alex Erterson as well. Ito, though, from the line. Sure, head coach Javier Juarez very, very pleased from UCAM's point of view. At this stage of the season, almost really doesn't matter how you get the win. You just want to get on the board as Ovisoko steps out. Another good performance from the Great Britain international. 10 points, 6 rebounds. Nazar Mucic in for him. As Martinez draws the foul from Thompson, and he has had a night to forget. 6 points to his name, 2 from 11, 1 from 7 from three-point range. Martinez, who just come on, gets to go to the line as well. Two from 2 as well. Not the worst introduction, as we see one last timeout called. And UCAM looking good for this victory inside the last 30 seconds.
You cut to him, but it's the flex speed. Valentin, tu vas sur la main droite. Flex speed, you go high. Richard, à terre, you go high. On a Antoine là, juste. Try to attack. Valentin, okay? Try to attack him, try to score.
So the celebrations are already in full swing now, as one or two decide to make their way back to their cars. But will the likes of Ludwigsburg, the likes of Avellino, maybe Banvit too, be entirely worried by this? Le Mans have certainly shown some pointers as to how you can beat UCAM. How on earth did that go in? Bigot, not entirely certain he knows either. Martinez for UCAM. Should be the last play. It's good to see him being so positive as well. There's Mucic for the dunk, and that rounds things off. The two youngsters with the final play from UCAM. And that should be that. UCAM finally get that first win of the season. Le Mans have shown plenty that they can challenge the French champions. It's going to be fun in Group A, though, between not just these two teams, but the rest as well. But UCAM get the win. It's 74-62. And that one, clearly goaltending, you would say, with the ball in downward motion. Not that it'll matter for these UCAM Murcia players, who will just be relieved to see victory and the first entry in the W column for 2018-19. Good workout, but that third quarter, all important in what had been hitherto. In fact, if you look at the other three quarters, 19-16, 17-16, and 19-18 shows you where this game was won and lost. Smiles on the faces of the UCAM players. Kevin Tumba, Ovisoko looking in good humour, as is Emmanuel Kate. Leading all scorers, Cameron Clark, 16 points, 4 rebounds on the Le Mans side. 8 points to Bigot, 7 and 9 respectively for Ito and Tarpi, as we see some of the highlights of tonight's game. But as for UCAM, 14 points, 5 rebounds, Milton Doyle. 10 each for Soko and Kate, 6 and 7 rebounds respectively. And 8 thrown in for good measure from Kevin Tumba. Lots to like about this UCAM side. 16 assists for the team too. And when you shoot 50% overall, 66% inside the paint, well, it doesn't really matter what you do outside, does it? And there just wasn't enough scope for Le Mans to make up that fact. To be fair, they shot 51% themselves inside the paint, but if you're going to be coming second best inside, then you need more than 3 from 19, and Thompson did not have a great night. 1 from 7 in particular, but 1 from 3, Bigot. Ito, none from 2. Cornerly 1 from 3. That probably tells you the story. Kate once again finding space inside, much to the anger of Valentin Bigot. But it's a good win for UCAM. Remember, keep up to date on the Basketball Champions League. Download the app from your smartphone store. And plenty too on the website as well. championsleague.basketball with all your stats, standings, news, and analysis that you could want on the tournaments. That is really impressing, and particularly after games like this. Thanks for your company. Chris Edgerton here with you, watching on events from the Palacio de los Deportes. And we'll see you next time. Next week, I hope, on the Basketball Champions League.